Everyone, and welcome to episode 64 of the Yarnivore podcast. I am Sadie. I'm your hostess with the mostest. And fair warning, I took some allergy medication earlier, so I might be a little loopy. But hopefully it keeps me from having serious pain going on, because apparently everything is out to get me right now as far as what is blooming. And yeah. Oh, and they're repaving a street up here, which means that there's going to be that asphalty smell that's going to get to me anyway. So I do apologize for being snotty and for being loopy, but that's as good as it gets right now, so let's just run with that. It's been a couple weeks, and my mom came to visit, and we had an awesome time, as we always do. She sewed on my buttons, as she does. So this is the Beacon Hill Cardigan by, it's out of the Cascadia book, which I believe is Tin Can Knits. Don't quote me. It's in the Cascadia book. It's part of the Use Your Books Cal I'm doing with Schnuffeltier from the Passionate Spinner podcast. And so now it has buttons, which means now I can wear it, although I could have worn it yesterday, because yesterday it was chilly. Today it is really warm, and I'm kind of regretting my choice of putting on long sleeves. I'm also kind of regretting it because it seems to have some sort of effect going on here, but I'm not changing, so oh well. The other thing that got finished were my Winky and Dobby socks, which were a Besties, We're Besties pack from Another Crafty Girl in the Business Time and Boom King colorways. I can't remember if I showed these last time, if they were done or not, so I'm showing them again. Alternating heels, toes, and ribbing. It's on her strong sock, which is an 80/20 Superwash Merino nylon blend, and I used a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle. Now I can wear them. So those are the two things I got done, and then I worked on things. Oh, did I work on things. First of all, I went back to the dark side and picked this up and started crocheting. Now, I had already had to this blue one done, but I kept going. And it's a blanket. This is it folded in half. It is the Diamond Stitch Afghan blanket or tutorial. It's free on Ravelry. The one in the picture is done in white with rainbow, and I wanted to do it in black, so that's what I'm doing. I am using a 5mm hook, I believe. And this is all done out of Lion brand woolies, which is 80% acrylic, 20% wool, because I want to be able to throw it in the washing machine. And I have a giant bag of it. And my mom showed me how to do it again, because she showed me how to do it the first time when I started. So I needed a refresher on that so I could continue on, and you can tell tension has changed. Life has changed. But I'm looking forward to finishing that up, or at least just working on it. It's something to do, and I like how mindless it is for me. The only thing is, if you have a Fitbit, take it off before you crochet, or it's going to look like you're a rock star, and then you're going to feel bad. If you're me, anyway. On my kick of I want to finish all the things I have, I worked on my building blocks Cal shawl. It wasn't this year, but the previous year's Stephen West Mystery Knit Along. And I like how it looks aesthetically when it's done, so that's not the problem that's keeping me from going full tilt. It's just I have to pay attention, and paying attention and me are not friends right now. And I'm also using a way too small needle for it. Yeah, I know, I'm a great knitter. I used a way too small needle, but whatever. I am on clue 3. There are 4 clues, and I am enjoying it. So I picked it back up in the brioche section. That's done. And at the pink section, that's done. And now I'm on to the stripey section. After this, I have one more section in clue 3, and then I have clue 4. For this one, I am using a, you're going to tell me, right? 3.5 millimeter needle, which is US 4. I have the green, which is Malabrigo Sock in the lettuce colorway. I have this purpley color, which is pomegranate in hedgehog fiber stock. I have Jive in Soft Like Kittens. And I have Supernova in Knitter's Nightmare on the giant base. The Jive, I believe, is, what base are you? Flapdoodle Jive. Yes, Flapdoodle Jive on Noodle Sock. So, working on that slowly but surely. I did get a fair bit done before Mom came, and then I got a fair bit done while she was here. I am so over 2-color knitting right now. I really am. Really, really I am. And it's all being stored in my Zigzag Stitches bag, which is huge and can take quite a bit of yarn. As you can see, I've got 4 skeins and a shawl in progress in here. I was going to say a sock in progress. No. Shawl. Shawl in progress. And then, keeping up with my Whip It Down in my Fat Scroll Fibers, something that hasn't seen the light of day since I lived in Minnesota. That's how old it is the Elphaba Fingerless Mitts. And I believe this is on a 2.5 millimeter needle, which is a US 1.5. I've worn off, it's a sock rocket, I've worn off any indicators I would have had on the thing. It's either a 1 or a 1.5. I'm gonna go with it being a 2.5 millimeter needle. I'm sorry. It's the allergy meds, man. They make me so sleepy. I am using a screwed up skein of Knitter's Nightmare Sugar Skull that I've had sitting in my closet, and Elphaba is a free pattern. I needed a pair of fingerless mitts. I'm going to make it go up to about here, and it's like the Jaywalker pattern really, but with a thumb. So I started back down here before the thumb increases started happening, and yeah. My knitters in Minnesota will remember when I started this on Knit Night, possibly, and I haven't worked on it since my Minnesota Knit Nights, so, but I want to get these done because I do want them. The steering wheel gets cold. Fast Scroll Fiber sock bag. And last of the knitting projects, and I blame Pam. She posted that she was onto the stockinette of her regular boxy, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, I could do that, but do I really want, I have a fingering cardigan on the needles, I can't have 2. 2 is too many. 2 is 1 too many. But there's a worsted boxy, and boxy is a sweater by Hohi Locatelli. I'm sure you can see that. Very plain, very simple, very perfect, and I just happened to have the right amount of yarn, and it was a gift from my mom years ago for my birthday. It's Madeline Tosh Vintage. Tosh Vintage in the Whiskey Barrel colorway. So I have 6 skeins. That is pretty much going to be cutting her close, but I'll do it. I'm using 5.5 millimeter needles. And these are the old school metal ones, which I kind of like. I finished my first skein. Go away. Pop-ups need to leave me alone right now. I finished the first skein, so I'm into the second one. I have them all caked up and ready to go. This is, of course, in my gorgeous bag from a viewer. can't remember if I can name you or not, so. I frogged what was previously in here, which I think was supposed to be a Stephen West cowl, but I was not digging it, so I frogged that. And now it's holding this sweater, and I feel much better about life. And I'm excited to have this pullover. I think it'll be great for spring evenings, for just, pulling on when you're cold at night, or if it's a rainy day, because, hey, I live in the Pacific Northwest, and that's how it is here. I think it'll come in handy. Now, let me see. Mom's visit was good. We did a lot of hanging out. I let her pick out my Desert Vista Dyeworks colorway for May, and that is going to be the Cosmic Bowling. Wanted to call it Electric Bowling, but no, Cosmic Bowling. So that's the one I'm going to be doing. And then I'm just going to throw this in here. If you're a knitting fan, then we're probably done for now. But we went to a fabric store, so I have to show you what I picked up. First off, I got some, before we do fabric, I got some knitting books. That is not a knitting book. We went to Goodwill, and I don't know why they had the Nora Gowan Collection Volume 7, but they did. And I kind of love anything Nora Gowan does, particularly looking in this book. Like, I like that cardigan, the Stibnite, the Zoflo, although I don't like the yellow, Amethysa. Either of these are really nice. Wolfenite or Elbite. And I like this sweater too. And really, I think it was like $1. So for that many Nora Gowan patterns, yeah, I'll take it. I picked up, this one was like $5, I think, but I needed it. Folk Socks by Nancy Bush. It's put out by Interweave. It's got some patterns, but it's primarily a lot of history and background into folk socks. However, who doesn't want to know more about folk socks? And the patterns are adorable for what they have in here. There's not a whole bunch, but folk socks, because I knit a lot of socks, and why not? And then this one was $6, and that was Alice Starmore's The Celtic Collection, which kind of peeves me off, just because a lot of the things where it's like, oh, it'll fit everyone. No, it won't. It's 2 inches below my bust size, and I'm not doing color work 2 inches below my bust size because it won't fit. But having said that, I couldn't pass it up. Some of them are really pretty. There's just a lot of cable work, even if it's just to have it as a reference or for the future. Like, there are some male designs in here I would knit. Like, I really like this one, but it's a one size fits all, and it's 34 to 40 inches in the bust. No, that's not going to work on me. I could go up a yarn size and probably be able to do it with no problems. Having said that, I don't know that I would, just because it's a lot of work and a lot of math. But as far as buying it secondhand, I didn't really have a problem with it. I picked up, we went to the fabric store, and I got this pattern, the Shelby Satchel. And because they had it right there, I got the Shelby Satchel packet of hardware, because then I don't need to run out and buy everything separately. So I'm going to have to go stash diving for this. We did take my sewing machine in to get serviced. It will be done in May. So May will probably see some sewing return to my life. I'm feeling the urge. But yeah, figuring out these fabrics is going to be, I'm such an indecisive person that it's going to take me forever to figure out which ones I want to use for it. Then my husband had requested that I make a runner for his desk at work. because he has a desk. He's a very lucky man in that regard. And he gave me the dimensions, and I found this one, and the large is going to do it. So I'm going to do the scrappy large, because there's a 3-color or a scrappy smaller large. So where was I going with this? And it was 40% off, which is great. And that does call for a specialty ruler, so I picked that up. Actually, technically everything that got bought is pretty much from my mom for my birthday next month, because she's not going to be here. So I got the 60-inch triangle, or the 60-degree triangle with the 8-inch finish size non-slip. And then I needed 8 fat 8s, but I said, oh, whatever. And I got fat quarters. And I've mentioned before, my husband is big into Pokemon, so these are all Pokemon. That's why I got them. He wanted something to brighten up his day. Well, we've got Pokeballs and Jigglypuffs and... is that Umbreon? No. A psychic one. We've got Pokeballs. Various forms of Pokeballs. We've got... I have a project bag out of this with everybody. So it has his Charizard, and there's Eevee and Mew. We've got Happy Pikachus with Pokeballs. I like the winking Pikachu the best. We've got Pikachu with his electricity doing dances on blue. We have the same thing on red. Then we have all the evolutions. Vaporeon, Umbreon, Flareon, Jolteon. I start forgetting after the first original ones. And then we've got that one on a blue background. So he is going to be up to his ears in Pokemon for his desk runner. You can put stuff on top of it. I'm sure he's not going to see all of it all day. And I'm not I would be worried about like the purpley pinks and stuff, except that he doesn't care about that kind of stuff. So pick that up. That's going to be his desk runner, and I'm sure he will really enjoy it. And I still have to finish the Blanket of Doom, as I got it, what, 2/3 of the way quilted? Or 1/3 of the way? Or did I get it halfway? Either way, it's getting there. It's just, it killed my machine, and my machine is in for servicing. So when it comes back, I will try and get more things done, and hopefully it works out. But that is everything I've been up to in the last 2 weeks. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it feels like a lot to me, because, like, I'm not going to lie to you, I spent a lot of time on that Stephen West building blocks. It doesn't seem like it should be, but it took time. And yeah, I guess I will see everyone again next week. Happy knitting!